Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to something rather different. We're back in Football Manager 2020. The Aston Villa series kind of fell to an arse, purely because I'm not very good at Football Manager, and normally I wouldn't mind putting stuff out whenever I feel miserably, but it was bloody embarrassing, so it's very unlikely we'll go back to that Aston Villa save. So in lieu of that, we've done something a little bit different. So myself, Keith and Michael are all massive Football Manager fans. We've been playing Football Manager for many moons, as I'm sure a lot of people have. So what I thought I would do is I would create us lads and put us in the game, and then we will simulate 5 seasons ahead, and see. We'll check in every season to see what's happening, and at the end of those 5 seasons we will see who's done the best in their footballing career. So yeah, I'm genuinely really excited. So let's have a look at the stats before we do anything else and see where we will be playing. So this is who we shall be playing for. It is our local club, Coleraine. We're all from the town. We're not exactly Coleraine fans. I couldn't even tell you if I've ever been to a Coleraine game. But it's where we're all from, so it's where I've put us all, and I feel it's an acceptable level for our talent. Not to say that the Northern Irish Premier League does not have great talent in it. It's just, you know. So here are the trophies, accolades, honours, whatever you want to call it, of the club. Fairly successful, I guess. Only 1 league title. More of a cup team really than a league side. Are the Bandsiders, and this is where we shall be playing our first season. What I've done is I've put us all on 1-year contracts with the club, so they will be expiring at the end of the season, and then we will enter free agency, or they may renew the contract. We'll see how it goes. I've used our real ages, so I figured 5 seasons would be, you know, acceptable, considering that we're all, if not knocking on the door of our 30s. So I figured 35, 36, 37 would be an age where we'd consider retirement. I've used as realistic stats as possible, because I want this to be a kind of realistic sort of save, because I'm fun, damn it. So don't expect us to be going to bloody Man United or Real Madrid or Barcelona or whoever. It's more than likely that we will stay in Northern Ireland, but who knows? We might break into the Football League system in England or Scotland or wherever. Who knows? But before we simulate the first season, let's have a look at our stats, and let's have a look at basically how we're looking. So we shall start with young Michael. Look at him there. Look at his little face. He is valued at 9.75 thousand and 120 quid a week. That's not terrible, Mike. You've negotiated quite nicely there, to be fair. These are the stats. Now I tried, but I haven't played football with. I think I've played football with Michael once or twice, so I have no idea what his stats really are. I know his outstanding stats are the ones that I know. Specifically are, you know, stuff that he excels in. For example, his natural fitness and stamina. He ran a marathon. There's a fun fact about Mike. He ran a marathon and he put the rest of us to shame. So fair bloody play to you, Michael. You can be smug as balls for the rest of your life and lord that over us mere mortals. The height and the weight, I don't know. I just guessed. But he will be playing as a central midfielder. Can play all up on that left hand side, as he is left-footed. Described as fairly determined. I would say that's pretty accurate. Media description: midfielder. So there you go. So yeah, that is Michael's stats and general profile. Not looking too bad. So we'll see how he progresses. Moving on to Keith now, who is 31, the elder statesman of the group. God love him. Although he's valued at 12.25 thousand. Which is pretty good, and on 160 quid a week. Jesus, Keith. Like, I know you. I am aware. Like, I know you quite well, and your skills of negotiation I've never seen. But apparently they're better than I would have thought. So there you go, 160 quid a week. There are Keith's stats, and like I said, I haven't played football with Keith in a very long time. So these are all. It's a lot of guesswork here. So someone's going to be annoyed. At the stats I've given them, but. It's just the way it is. Who knows? Right-footed, central midfielder, experienced midfielder, which is a nice way of saying over 30. So that is how Keith's looking. So we'll have a look at myself, and then we will simulate to the end of the first season. So if either of you felt bad about your stats or your value, this is me, valued at 3.5 grand on 70 quid a week. So there you go, you are doing significantly better than I am. Fair play. So there you go. This is me. This is the only kind of set of stats that I think are kind of as accurate as they could be, because I made this, and if I didn't know if I didn't know my own footballing stats, then there's something wrong. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm a defensive midfielder, can play in central midfield as and when. Very right-footed. My left foot is only good for standing on, and it's not entirely brilliant at that. Described as a balanced personality, defensive midfielder. So yeah, that is all three of us. That is all three of our stats and our ability. So now the only thing that's left to do is to advance through the first season of the Danske Bank Premiership. As I said, we're only on 1-year deals, so we'll see what happens at the end of the year. Will our contracts be renewed, or will we end up going into the free agency? Who knows, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So there we go, that is the first season done. The 2019-2020 season is done and dusted. So let's just see how we're all getting on. Are we still at Coleraine? Have we moved on to pastures new? Has someone actually paid money for us? Who knows, let's find out. Right, I'm looking through the squad list, and Mike is still there, I'm still there. No sign of Keith though. Is he in the reserves? No. Has Keith been released? We shall look into that in a second or two, but we'll look into Mike's stats first. Mike is currently injured, was he? He's undergoing treatment for a twisted ankle suffered in training. Expected to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. He's also transfer listed, as am I, so myself and Michael both transfer listed, although he's worth more than I am, so there you go. But Mike, how have you done in your first season? Let's have a look at the old Stattingtons. Let's have a look. Right, there we go. 35 overall appearances, 5 substitute appearances, 5 goals, and 7 assists in total for Michael. What's he got? 1.75 tackles per game, 62% pass accuracy, 36% shots have gone on target, and 2 fouls on average a game, with an average rating of 6.66. He's got the Devil's rating, God love him. I would say that's quite good. He's got 34 appearances in the league, or 34 total league appearances, 40 total league appearances. So that's what 35 starts and 5 off the bench. Not too bad, Michael. Not too bad at all. Don't know why they transfer listed you then. Moving on to myself, it's not as pretty reading, as you can see. Only 11 starts, 4 substitute appearances. A lot of non-competitive starts. I got 3 goals and 3 assists in non-competitive games, which I assume is like reserve games and that sort of thing. I did get 2 goals though, so that's pretty good, and 3 assists. 3.5 tackles per game, 73% pass accuracy, 40% of my shots go on target. Drawing 3 fouls a game with a 6.77 overall rating. You know what, I'll take that. I absolutely will. So after a quick search for young Keith, unfortunately he has indeed been released from Coleraine, which is a shame really, but let's see what forced their decision. There we go. Oh, only 3 starts overall with 8 substitute appearances. He made a lot of non-competitive starts, got 2 goals in non-competitive games with 17 overall appearances, but for actual competitive games, 3 starts, 8 all coming off the bench. He got 1 assist, 2.3 tackles per game, 66% pass accuracy, 0.39 dribbles, 33% shots on target with 3 fouls a game, securing a 6.56 overall rating, which is I don't think that's too bad considering the amount of game time he got. But unfortunately, Keith is the first of us to drop into free agency, so we're gonna have to see how that goes for him. Myself and Michael still at Coleraine, of course, but we are both on the transfer list, so we'll have to see if we're still there by the end of season 2, the 2020-2021 season. The 2020-21 season has come to an end. By Christ, that's a mouthful, and I do not look forward to saying that whenever next season occurs. But what I am looking forward to is to seeing where we are all ended up. Keith, of course, the poor bugger, was released from Coleraine at the end of last season. And myself and Michael remained. So let's have a look and see if we are still there. Senior squad. Oh dear. Well, it's not looking too promising. Unless we've dropped into the reserve squad, which we haven't. Well, now that's a bit of a turn up for the books. But I tell you what, we'll come to me and Michael later on. We'll see what has happened with Keith and see if he found another club. Well, this is a bit of a turn up for the books. It would seem that Keith has retired from playing and has gone into the coaching side of things as a head of youth development. And he's looking for a job. Well, that's very strange, and it's kind of put a spanner in the works of this whole series, and I'm sure Keith won't be too happy about it. He's only 33, he's still got plenty of time left, I would have thought. He's identified himself as a head of youth development, and his stats don't look overly terrible for this level, so somebody should give him a job. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if Keith gets a job as a head of youth development. That's so strange. Oh bloody hell, it just goes from bad to worse. It would seem that Michael has been released. He falls into the free agency pool. But let's have a look and see how Coleraine came to that decision. Let's have a look. Well, he played a fair bit. Bloody hell, he's got over 40 appearances on the season. Like, what's that, 41, 42 appearances in total? It's 26 starts, 15 substitute appearances. Got 4 goals in total, 1 assist. With a 6.61 average rating. He played loads, but they've decided to release Michael, which is a real strange one to me, considering the amount of game time he's got and considering the amount of sort of consistent numbers that he's put up. He's looking for a new club. I'm not surprised. Michael, I'm pretty sure you will absolutely find one. I would prefer to not play for Coleraine. Well, there you go. Maybe it ended acrimoniously. But he is looking for a new club, and with those numbers that he's putting up, I'm certain that he'll find one. And finally we take a look at myself, and I have a new club, it would seem. I've gone to Dundela. I love the fact that the majority, if not all of you watching this video, will have no idea where any of these places are. So there you go, this is a lovely tour around the country where we are from. I've gone to Dundela, it would seem, but when did I go there? I went during that season. Well, that's weird. I played, 5 games in total, 5 starts, 5 substitute appearances, scored 1 goal, got 1 assist. Got 4 goals in non-competitive games, I'm happy enough with that. And 5 assists, 2 playing. Bloody hell, I found my level, and it's reserve team football. Coleraine decided to let me go to Dundela on a free transfer. Went there, got in the Bluefin Sport Championship, which is the level down from the Danske Bank Premier. 9 starts, 1 goal, 1 assist, with an average rating of 6.94 compared to the 6.55 that we were putting up at Coleraine earlier on in the season. So, well, there you go. There's a bloody turn up for the books. Keith has gone into coaching, Michael has been released, and I am playing in a level below where we started. So it's all in all, it's going swimmingly. The end of the 21-22 season 3 of this save, of this little challenge that we're doing here. At the end of the last season, of course, Keith was still unemployed in his new sort of non-playing role, which has got a title that is far too overly fancy for the likes of us. Michael had been released from Coleraine despite having a pretty decent season, so that kind of baffled me a smidge. And I had been sold to the league, to a team that plays in the league below where we started, so a terrific start all around. Surely it could have only gone better this season, hopefully. Let's have a look and see. First we'll check in with Keith and see if he managed to get himself a job. God love him. Oh, Keith, mate, what have you done? Why have you gone into the route of head of youth development? Surely coaching would have been a better option. Still no job for Keith. God love him. Fair play. He's still plugging away, but no one's taken a chance on him yet. It's very much like whenever you're about 13 and trying to get retail experience and no one will give you any because you don't have any. How am I meant to get experience if you don't take a chance on me? Is what I imagine Keith said. Now he's in her monologue. So unfortunately for Keith, he's still not managed to get himself a job, but hopefully soon. Someone give him a go. He's all right. He's all right. Like, as for myself, I am still with Dundela in the second division of Northern Irish football. Let's have a look at the old table, see how it finished. Whereas last season there we finished fourth. That's not overly terrible. No way really of mounting any sort of title challenge, but playing, still playing in the team that finished top half of a league. I was going to say a league of a decent level, but it's not really, is it? But I'm still playing, so I can't really complain. Let's have a little look at the old stats here, see how we got on. Let's see, 31 starts overall, or 31 appearances overall I should say, 29 of which were starts, 2 substitute appearances, 3 goals, 6 assists, and an overall rating of 6.87. That's not too bad, although, to be honest, if I'm still travelling to... Actually, what's my contract? My contract has expired. So, I'm on non-contract terms, so it's not even paying my petrol travelling down from Coleraine to Dundela every day. Dundela it's far away from where I live, and I've chosen poorly here. This was a terrible decision on my part, so if I could get a transfer to a team closer to home, that would be tremendous, please. So I'm still at the same club. Has Michael Norton managed to find himself another club? Let's have a look and find out. Well, he's got a new club of sorts. He has landed the role of assistant manager at Harlan and Wolf Welders. What in the name of utter God is happening? Harlan and Wolf Welders are a team that play in the same division as the one I'm still currently playing in, the Bluefin Sport Championship. So myself and Michael will come face to face throughout next season, should I stay at Dundela and should he stay at Harlan and Wolf Welders. How long has he been there? Let's have a look. Milestones. A couple of weeks. He's only been there a couple of weeks. That's mad. So Michael has retired from playing. Despite having the significantly better career out of the three of us, he's done the most in regards to goals and assists and generally getting game time. But he's decided to retire, and he's gone into the coaching game, and he's the assistant manager at Harlan and Wolf Welders. This save is bizarre. Shall we go to the next season and see what other madness happens? I think we bloody well should. Can this season top the madness that was last? Is Michael still assistant manager for some reason? Am I still playing in a terrible level? And has Keith found a job? Oh, Jesus, Keith, things just go from bad to worse for Keith, because he seems to have retired completely now, because if you search the name Keith Hunter, you find no results. So Keith must have just retired from the game altogether. Sorry, mate, I feel really bad. I feel like I should have intervened in some way. But the fates have not shone kindly upon you, Keith, and I can only apologise. Actually, it's not even my fault. Blame everyone else that's not me, please. Oh, bloody hell, lads, it's all falling apart for everyone. Michael is no longer the assistant manager at Harlan and Wolf Welders. He has his contract has run out, and he's currently back in the free agency pool, this time on the non-playing side of things. So whereabouts did he get to with his managerial career? Well, at the end of May, Michael's contract seemed to have ran out. He was released on a free transfer, which is a real shame, because I would have liked to have gone up against Michael more often than just the one season. That is, if I'm still at Dundela. I have no idea where I've gone to, but Michael, unfortunately, is back into the free agency pool, and he's going to be down the job centre, standing at 9 o'clock in the morning to sign on. There we go. Happy days. I'm still kicking about at Dundela, picking up, I was going to say picking up a wage, but picking up absolutely nothing, picking up rubbish on the side of the road to make ends meet, it would seem. Before we dive into the stats, let's have a look and see how Dundela did last season in the Bluefin Sport Championship. Let's have a look. We finished in 5th, so we've gone backwards a step, although we finished level on points with Carrick. But it was a goal difference thing, I do believe. And Harlan and Wolf Welders finished in 7th. So Michael's former team finishing in 7th in the league. But how have I been getting on? Let's have a look. See, I've dropped from a starter to a substitute player, so that's not ideal. So 31 total appearances, 27 starts, and 4 coming off the bench. 3 goals, 12 assists. Holy good Jesus. That's not too bad, with an average rating of 6.92. That's pretty super. I'm happy enough with that. Actually, how old am I now? I'm 32 at this stage of the game. So yeah, if I can get one more season out of me, then happy days. It seems that Dundela is my home now. Hopefully I've sorted out my bloody travel arrangements, otherwise I'm sleeping in a box at the side of the road. It is what it is. So that is the end of the 4th season. It's all gone horribly wrong. Keith has been taken out of existence, it would seem. Michael is down the job centre, going to do his steps to work scheme, and I am playing for free at a club that's very far away from home. So we shall simulate to the end of the 5th and final season and take stock of where we are after all of that. Doesn't time just fly, unless you're actually doing this in real time, in which case it takes bloody ages. But we have reached the end of the 5th and final season of this little simulation. Unfortunately, there's only 2 of us left to have a look at. Keith, of course, has fallen off the edge of the earth, apparently. Which is unfortunate, because I would have liked to have seen all 3 of us where we would have ended up at this stage. So it's just myself and Michael. We'll check in with Michael first and see if he's managed to get himself another assistant manager job. Unfortunately for Michael, he's been unable to find himself another job. Well, we are in a recession, after all, that's fairly excusable. However, though, he is wanted. Who's he wanted by? Portadown! Oh, that's a shame, because if you've ever been to Portadown, never mind. So Michael is wanted by Portadown. So you know what, we may end up doing another season just to see if he ends up with Portadown and gets himself another job, and end this series on some sort of a nice note. So we might just do that. Actually, we will. But before we do that, we'll see where I have ended up. Am I still in Dundela, of all places? I've never even been to Dundela. I don't even know how to get there. Indeed I am. I'm still stuck in Dundela, 33 years old now. How many seasons have I been there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Into my 5th season now at Dundela. So let's have a little look at the old stats for this season just gone. What's that? 36 appearances in total, 23 starts, 13 off the bench, no goals, but 11 assists. Good grief, I'm an absolute machine with an average rating of 6.7. Where did we finish in the table? Let's have a little look and see. We finished 2nd, a point off the title. Oh, are you having a laugh? A point off the title. We could have gone up. We could have gone up as champions. We could have gone up back into the Premier Division, but Ballinamallard, yep, there's actually a place called that in Northern Ireland, take the title by a single point. That is gutting. However, it does appear that I am wanted by Belfast Celtic, despite all the appearances I've made for this club. Belfast Celtic want to take me on a free transfer. So you know what? I was only going to do 5 seasons. This was the 5th season. I'll do another one. I'll simulate another season just to see if I get my move to Belfast Celtic, and if Michael gets his move to be assistant manager of Portadown, and to see if Keith emerges from the ether at some point. So yeah, we'll do one more. We'll simulate one more, even though I was only going to do 5. But we'll do one more. This is the bonus season mega super special edition. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. So there we go. 6 seasons done in this Football Manager 2020 simulation. Unfortunately, we've not been able to find Keith. I don't know, somebody must have changed his number and moved away, because I can't find him bloody anywhere. As for Michael, he was the assistant manager at Harlan and Wolff Welders last season, but currently was without a job at the... So as for Michael, he of course was the assistant manager at Harlan and Wolff Welders, and then had been released, but he was wanted by Portadown to be their assistant manager. So let's check in on Mike and see where he ended up. Did he go to Portadown? Did he go elsewhere? Did he, I don't know, become the manager of the United Arab Emirates? Who knows in this game? Everything is a distinct possibility. Truth be told, it's worked out not too bad for Michael. He has got an assistant manager gig at Warren Point Town, and he's making 275 quid a week. Jesus, Michael, that's not bad. I think Michael's been the best paid out of all of us throughout this entire series. So fair play to Michael. He's getting paid. Fair play. He's got a mortgage to pay for, so it's only fair. So how did Warren Point Town, when did he become assistant manager of Warren Point Town? On the 4th of the 6th, 2025. So only a few weeks ago was he appointed manager of Warren Point. Where did they come? They of course are in the Danske Bank Premier League. Where did Warren Point Town finish last season? They finished just above the relegation spot. Warren Point Town finishing 11th. So they've brought Michael in for a bit of security and a bit of know-how and a bit of knowledge in regards to the Premiership. He has of course played at this level and he knows what it's all about, and he's been an assistant manager in the division below. So Michael, at this stage of his career, is the assistant manager at Warren Point Town. Fair play to you, Michael. You've done not too badly in what, 6 years? And there it is, the trifecta has been completed. We have all gone into non-playing roles. We've all retired from active playing football, and we're now in the other side of the white line as coaches and staff, as I have apparently become the under-18s manager at Carrick Rangers, which is weird. I didn't really want. I'm not even a proper coach, but there you go. No, I'm not even a proper manager. But there you go. Carrick Rangers have given me the job of managing their under-18s. So when did I take over at that post? Only a few weeks ago. It seemed I was released from Dundela. They released me. How dare they, after all the service that I gave them, the absolute heathens. So what were the stats in my final season? God almighty, I got absolutely disrespected in my final season. Can you believe that? Going from what, bloody 30 league start to go, what was it? 33 league starts or 33 overall appearances. I can't even talk. I'm so angry. The season before, to only getting what, 14 overall appearances. That is absolutely shocking behaviour from you, Dundela. I would have expected better. But only 3 starts, 11 off the bench. Got plenty of non-competitive appearances, but I got no goals and 4 assists in that time with a 6.53 average rating. That's absolutely shocking, I have to say. Although we did win the Dundela, we won the reserves, the Championship and PIL Development League, whatever that is. We won that, so happy day. Oh, it must be a reserve league. So we won that. Happy days, bit of silverware, but still. But that is it for our little Football Manager 2020 simulation, to see what would happen if the 3 of us were put into Football Manager with semi-realistic stats. To be honest, they were probably worse than they actually are in the game. Although Michael's were probably better. I really did him dirty on those stats, and I can only apologise, Michael. But he's got his own back by doing better. The best of the 3 of us, by getting the most appearances, the most goals, the most money, actually, and becoming an assistant manager at a Premier League club. Well, a Northern Irish Premier League club, but still, you know. Keith, unfortunately, I feel so bad for him. I would have loved to see how his career would have went, but like I say, I have no idea where he's gone. He just seems to have disappeared off the edge of the earth. But we'll send a search party out for you, mate, and we'll try and find you. But come home safe. We miss you. We miss you. And as for myself, I had a playing career which, truth be told, if it was in real life, I'd be pretty happy with, considering I am possibly the worst person to ever kick a football in the history of the universe. But that is it. That ends our little Football Manager simulation. Thank you so very much for watching. I know it's a bit localized, and a lot of these places you'll have never heard of before. But, it's something a bit different. It's a little bit of fun. If you did enjoy it, do of course hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, all that other good stuff. But put in the comment section below what other scenarios you'd like to see us in. If you want us to go to actual, if you want us to go to Man United and Newcastle and see how we get on from there. If you want us to bump the stats up to 20s all over the board and see how we get on, let me know in the comment section below, because I'd love to do another one of these. This is really good fun. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will see you in the next one.